Have you ever had one of those seasons where you had to make a way out of no way? Well, hustle and grind doesn't mean burnout. It means using what's in your hands. Well, hello and welcome back to Be Life Changers. I am Kathy Coates, your host, and we are here at JT Visuals without the I because they are definitely more than meets the eye. Check out this scene behind me, the lights, everything is perfect. I love being able to walk in and walk out. And trust me, right now in this season, I need to walk out quick. I have had so much on my plate lately, and I always have to add one more thing, right? So today's episode is called Hustle and Grind, Making a Way Out of No Way. I'm going to take you way back in time when money was tight. This episode is for every busy mom, every dream chaser, and every entrepreneur who's out there doing their best she can with what she has. Because sometimes the blessing isn't in the big plan, it's in the small batches. So grab your coffee, your notebook, and maybe even a paper plate, and let's talk about how your passion can feed your purpose in business and in life.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but what if you didn't have to hunt for your next client? What if there's a way that you could spend less than 3 hours per month, even as a busy entrepreneur, and start attracting your ideal clients so that they come to you rather than you have to always go to them? You could be the best of your industry, but we want to make you the best known. And you can get started on this for free on our website. Go to jtvisuals.com and look for our ideal client profile generator. We've trained AI to come up with who you should reach out to and who you need to become to be that go-to expert of your industry and city. So what are you waiting for? Go to jtvisuals.com. That's jtvsuals.com, jtvsuals.com, and get started today.
Let's just be honest. Hustle and grind is me. All the time. I'm always coming up with something new to do. A pivot, a shift, a twist. We're going to take it all the way back because sometimes you have to make a way out of no way. There was a season of life that I had to come up with some ideas to make money. My husband had went back to college and we'd already had some kids. He was going to go and get another degree. And so we had to kind of think about what's going on. So I was staying at home with the kids. I had my daycare going. And I thought, gosh, what can I do? You know, I love the crafty side of things. You know, those things that you're passionate about, your hobbies. And so one of my really good friends and I come up with love and kindness. And so we used to make all these crafts and we'd sell them at our church. And so then I started thinking, well, you know what? I love to bake. And there is one thing everybody says I'm known for, but is my banana bread. But the secret is really not my banana bread. It's my great-grandmother's banana bread, Minnie Mason, and I used to call her Grandma Minnie Mouse. But anyway, what's kind of crazy about the whole thing is, you know, I was young enough that we really never did bake together or that I remember the experiences of baking together. You know, I used to go over there when I was younger and I would go grocery shopping for her because, you know, she's my great grandma. She was pretty old. So we didn't do a lot of baking back then, but I inherited the recipe on this old card. And yes, I know it looks pretty bad, doesn't it? I should have probably protected it a little better. But she always had this pet peeve. She says, now, you know, when I pass away, I want you to use my stuff. I don't want it going in a drawer. I don't want you to give it away. I want you to use it. So trust me, I have used this banana bread recipe many, many times to the point I have it memorized. But it's kind of crazy because no one seems to be able to make the bread like her, apparently. And I've never made it with her, but everyone swears it tastes just like hers. So when it became that I needed to come up with a way to make a little extra money for the kids to have a Christmas, I pulled out Great Grandma Minnie's banana bread recipe and we got busy. We made so many breads that year. I think it was close to 500 banana and pumpkin breads. It was kind of insane. The hustle and bustle of your kids running around and making banana bread and being under pressure, yeah, that's grit. That's hustle. Because tell you what, it wasn't so easy. When you have kids running around and you have daycare, and then you have to make all those breads that you know is going to have to be made for the see and sell that weekend, you're trying to fit it in. You're up till 2 in the morning and back up till 6 a.m. That's some grit. But, you just have to do it because the outcome is that I had no money to buy my kids Christmas. And that Christmas was delightful. The kids were so happy, and it made all the tears worth it. Because let me tell you, it was exhausting making that many. But when you mix your faith, flour, and a little grind, miracles rise. That is what I always think back to is, how I used that baking bread, something I was passionate about, something I like doing, because it's therapeutic to me. After, a hard day, I'm able to come in and make something that makes everybody smile. And it was so fun to see all the smiles. And what you don't realize is through all those struggles and those things that you go through in life, whether it be baking bread for kids' Christmas or making just a little extra money, what you don't realize is sometimes God hides your next business idea right in your hobby. So remember, when you're juggling your family, your business, and your faith, remember that even the small beginnings count. Not that I even knew that baking banana breads and making crafts was going to lead into me being an entrepreneur later. Not that I even really considered running a daycare to be a business. I was like 22 years old. I wasn't thinking about a business at that time. I was thinking about raising my kids, making money, and just getting through day-to-day life. And if that's where you're at, just remember those little things, those small beginnings, sometimes grow into businesses, big businesses later. I know so many people who've done that, who've ended up taking that small gift they had, and next thing you know, they have a storefront. So don't let the hustle and bustle of everyday life keep you from doing what you are passionate about doing, because you never know what's going to be birthed out of that. Recently, I did something kind of fun. I'm always busy helping other businesses grow, promoting businesses. So recently, I started something myself that I'm passionate about. I love baking. I love cooking. And with a big family, you better love it. That's all I have to say, because I'm telling you what, they like to eat, so I better like cooking. So at Christmas time, I come up with the idea of doing something for me, something that's a little therapeutic. I started my own page called The Paper Plate. And here I share some of my recipes that people rant and rave about, and the ones that I like myself, the ones that I like cooking. The Paper Plate was a place where I could escape, put out my recipes, and help busy moms who need help. You're coming home tired, exhausted, and you think that you have to make this big meal. So what do? You stop by McDonald's, or you go by the grocery store and have to pick up the few ingredients because you forgot the one thing, and you think they have to be these big, elaborate meals. Well, don't worry about it. Having 8 kids, I had to come up with some recipes that would hide those vegetables and make them want to eat. So that's the kind of stuff I share. And in fact, I tell people, pull out your paper plate, because who needs to wash dishes when you're super exhausting and tired? Instead of dropping the meal that's healthy for your family, drop the dishes. I'm not saying you have to use cute little paper plates like these. The normal ones will do. The reason I choose cute little plates is, let's just be truthful, it makes prettier pictures. So go check it out. The Paper Plate is on Instagram and Facebook, and check out some of those recipes. I hope you find it helpful and therapeutic just like it is for me. So think about those little things that you like and are passionate about. Maybe you can bring it back. Make it be therapeutic for you. And you never know, it might turn into a business. This year, though, I have brought my banana breads back out, as you can see right here. And so at Shop and Brews, we had it there, and we sold many of them. People absolutely loved it, and they're asking for more. So I'm just going to let you know that this season, you can get the banana breads or pumpkin bread. And then there's one that I made for myself. It's the butterscotch bourbon banana bread. Now, this recipe is mine. I took my great-grandmother's recipe, and then I added my own little flair to it. Everybody loves a little butterscotch and bourbon, right? It is delicious. So that is my signature one. So know that you can get any of those this season. You can email me at Kathy@KathyCoatesEvents.com, and I'll get that order to you. And if this episode spoke to your heart, share it with another woman who's out there grinding their way and making it happen. Until next time, keep showing up, keep believing, and keep making a way out of no way. You got this, and God's got you.